some of whom are still getting home now. Hope you enjoy it. We'll return to the Australian Open tennis in approximately half an hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand by to celebrate a century of Australian achievement. Lotto Skyworks 2000. 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Lotto Skyworks 2000. While we live in the world's oldest continent, we live in one of its youngest countries. What have we done? Where have we gone? What have we achieved? Maybe where we're going depends on where we've been. Tonight is a celebration of Australia's last 100 years. A century of Australian achievement and good times. The bush has always been central to most Australians' understanding of this country. It has fed us, clothed us, and helped make this country what it is. The Australian bush has produced writers, Singers, pioneers, heroes, thinkers and leaders. It survived drought, fire, flood and pestilence. On its surface, we've grown sheep, wheat and enough food to feed our nation. Under it, we found everything from nickel to diamonds. Banjo Paterson romanticised about it. John Flynn, the Flying Doctor, flew over it. Paddy Hannon discovered gold in it, and Lang Hancock found iron ore. Tragedy or triumph, the bush is part of Australian folklore, and it inspired quintessential Australian bands like Midnight Oil, Yothu Yindi and Goanna. Australians have always been an inquisitive lot. We've had our fair share of the brave, the foolhardy, the courageous and the innovative. In 1911, Douglas Mawson was the first to sail to Antarctica. In 1928, Charles Kingsford Smith was the first person to fly the Pacific. And 2 years later, he broke the London to Darwin record set by another great Australian aviator, Bert Hinkler. While Gabby Kennard was the first woman to fly solo around the world, Kay Conti was the first woman to sail around it. Perth's David Dix was the youngest to sail single-handed around the world. And another Australian, Jessie Martin, did it last year. Australians could also lay claim to some remarkable inventions. From the Hills hoist, Vegemite, the wine cask and the ute, to the black box flight recorder, Ben Lexon's revolutionary winged keel, the world's first artificial cornea, and the first bionic ear. Why do we do it? Because we can. And because Australians have always had a go. This year, for the first time, Lotto Skyworks 2000 marks the opening of the Perth International Arts Festival. Tonight, as part of the celebrations, let's look back over the last 100 years of Australian art, literature, stage and screen. Our writers have always broken the rules, smashed moulds and given us a unique Australian perspective. From Henry Lawson and Banjo Patterson to Nobel Prize winner Patrick White, our writers have challenged, explained, dared to question, been banned and applauded. Our artists have also provided us with a unique legacy, from Roberts, Streeton, Boyd, McCubbin and Nolan, to Lindsay, Dobell, Namatjira and Whiteley. Australian art has always reflected our willingness to break the shackles and confront tradition. In 1906, Australia gave the world its first ever feature movie, The Story of the Kelly Gang. Since then, Australian stage and screen has played a pivotal role in shaping and reflecting our culture. Over the last 100 years, Australia has stood proudly on the world stage with artistic visionaries that dared to dream and express the uniqueness of our great southern land. Australia has produced some remarkable sporting heroes. Dawn Fraser was the only Olympian to win a gold medal for the same event at 3 separate Olympics. Herb Elliott was never beaten over a mile or 1,500 metres. Margaret Court won 62 Grand Slam events. Mick Doohan won 5 World 500cc championships. And our teams have finished off a golden century. World champions in cricket, rugby union, rugby league, netball, women's hockey and tennis. For a country with such a small population, Australia has a remarkable heritage of champions. That tradition will continue later this year when the Olympic flame ignites in Stadium Australia for the Sydney Olympics and ushers in a new generation of Australian champions. Ladies and gentlemen, please look to the city of Perth skyline as Lotto Skyworks 2000 lights up 5 of Perth's tallest buildings. QV1, the Hartley Point and Tower, Central Park, the AMP Building and Exchange Plaza, each symbolising one of the 5 Olympic rings as they ignite in tribute to our Australian Olympic athletes.
Out into lane 2, challenging the Americans now. In fact, takes the lead again with 50 metres to go. Louise Savage, the world champion from last year, is now streaking away and is going to get the gold medal. Kathy Freeman has run an astonishing time. I can tell you she's taken a second off her Australian record. She has run the race of her life.
Tears in my eyes, my body is tingling head to toe.
Tonight, we're looking back on a century of Australian achievement. A century that has seen Australia evolve into a multicultural role model for the world. Now get ready to sing the song that could only be Australian, as we come together as one to celebrate the first Australia Day of the new century. Please have your torches ready. And for those of you viewing Lotto Skyworks 2000 from buildings, please stand by your light switches. First, would all those on the south side of the river wave their lights from side to side?
I've been to cities that never close down.
side, please join in.
I still call Australia
Finally, all those in Kings Park, on the river, and everyone else, please join in. Let's also turn on the green and gold with the spectacular lighting on Fraser Avenue. Now, would you please stand up for the Australian National Anthem and look to Perth Water as we light up two massive Australian fireworks flags in recognition of the Anzac spirit that ensured our freedom over the last 100 years.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Perth, thank you for being part of Lotto Skyworks 2000. Tonight, we have paid tribute to a century of Australian commitment, endeavour, achievement and success. As we bring Lotto Skyworks 2000 to its spectacular finale, let's honour some of the artists who have provided Australia's musical heritage and prepared the ground for those who will take Australian music into the future. From Dame Nellie Melba and Dame Joan Sutherland to the early contemporary groundbreakers of Johnny O'Keefe, Billy Thorpe, the Easy Beats and the Bee Gees, to the 70s glam of Sherbet, John Paul Young and Skyhooks, and the 80s icons of In Excess, AC/DC, The Angels, Cold Chisel, Australian Crawl and the Hoodoo Gurus, to our current groundbreaking musicians, Natalie Imbruglia, Bachelor Girl, Silverchair and Powderfinger. Australian music is in good hands as we head into the 21st century with Taxi Ride, Vanessa Amorosi, Savage Garden and Madison Avenue.
you tell me to just get out. Well, this isn't just your house. Well, I thought I've told you. I guess you didn't listen, baby. Now that I'm looking for your time, just to see if I'm on your mind. I think we're really over now. I saw your girlfriend, you and her seem to be fine. Now that we're through, I realize I want you. I try to get you back, but you don't need me, baby. What you thinking of, baby? No, baby. Have a look at me, baby. What you thinking of, baby? No, baby. What you thinking of, baby? Baby. I took you to now, baby. What you thinking of, baby? Have a look.
Thank you for being part of Lotto Skyworks 2000. Organising an event of this scale requires a massive amount of time and effort from hundreds of people. We especially thank the City of Perth, the Lotteries Commission, Channel 7, GWN, PMFM 92.9, the West Australian and the State Government for their commitment and support, without which Lotto Skyworks 2000 would not have taken place. Most importantly, we also say thanks to you for being part of Lotto Skyworks 2000.
Great southern land. Burn you black. So you look into the land, it will tell you a story about a journey and long ago. Listen to the motion of the wind in the mountains.
So a fantastic finale for Australia Day with a dazzling fireworks display and lots of happy people. That was our presentation of the Lotto Sky.